Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we will discuss about the basics of IUPAC nomenclature. So at first we should know the full name of IUPAC. So it is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, right? So now the question is, why do we need this IUPAC names? Because all compounds have their common names as well. Okay, but you will definitely agree with me that in different languages a same compound has different names. For example, H2O is called water in English. In Cantonese this is CV. In Hindi pani. In Bengali jol. In Arabic ma. In Filipino tubig. In French eau. And in German Wasser. Okay, so this is really problematic. So the purpose of IUPAC is to establish an international standard of naming of compounds which is common, which is unique, and of course unambiguous. Okay, so according to the IUPAC system, the name of the organic compounds consists of three parts. Number 1, word root. Number 2, suffix. Number 3, prefix. Okay, one by one we will discuss about all these things. So at first, word root. So what is word root? This is the basic unit of the name which denotes the number of carbon atom which is present in the organic compound. Okay, for example, if one carbon atom is present, then the word root is meth. If 2 carbon atoms is present, then eth. For 3, prop. For 4, bute. For 5, pent. For 6, hex. Okay. For 7, hept. For 8, this is oct. For 9, non. And for 10, dec, and so on. Okay, so I think this part is clear. So which kind of word root we have to use? That is determined by the number of carbon atoms which is present in the organic molecule. Next is suffix. What do we mean by suffix in general? Suffix means which is added after the word, right? So in IUPAC system also it means same. So here suffix is of two types. One is primary suffix. Another one is secondary suffix. Okay, so a primary suffix is always added to the word root to indicate whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. There are 3 basic primary suffix. If the carbon atoms are linked by only single covalent bonds, then we add "ane" with that. Okay. If at least one double bond is present, then the primary suffix will be "ene." And if at least one triple bond is there, that will be "ine." Y-N-E, ine. Okay, and in the chain with that primary suffixes, if the parent chain contains 2, 3 or more double or triple bonds, then some numerical suffixes we also can add, like di for 2, tri for 3, tetra for 4. Let me explain this one with an example, like suppose CH3, CH2, CH3. So at first word root and then primary suffix and then IUPAC name, right? So here you can see that 3 carbon atoms are there. So for 3 carbon atoms we use prop as word root, and the primary suffix will be "ane." Why? Because this is saturated hydrocarbon. Okay, so the IUPAC name will be propane. Similarly, if suppose CH3, CH double bond, CH2 is there, that means word root will be same as 3 carbon atoms are there, also prop, and 1 double bond is there. So for double bond we use ene. So ene is there, so the name is propene. Okay. Suppose we have this one, CH2 double bond CH, single bond CH double bond CH2. So here how many carbon atoms are there? 1 2 3 4. So for but the word root is buta here, because here 2 double bonds are there. Okay. So as the primary suffix here is diene, right, because 2 double bonds are there with a consonant D instead of a vowel, and extra A has been added to the word root. Okay, so the name will be butadiene, butadiene. Clear? Now we will talk about secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. So a secondary suffix is used to indicate if a functional group is present in organic molecule or not. Okay, so it is added to the primary suffix while writing the IUPAC name. So what is functional group? A functional group is an active atom or group of atoms within the molecules, the presence of which determine the functions or the chemical activities of the compounds. So suppose we have alcohols and the functional group will be OH. Okay, and the secondary suffix for that one will be ol. If this is aldehyde, the functional group is CHO and the secondary suffix is al, al. Okay, and if it is ketone, so the functional group will be like this, C double bond O, and the secondary suffix is -one. If this is carboxylic acid, then the functional group is COOH and the secondary suffix is oic acid. If acid chloride is there, so COCl is the functional group and the secondary suffix will be oil chloride. Okay, and if it is acid amide, so CONH2 is the functional group and the secondary suffix is amide. If esters are present, so the functional group will be COOR. That R group can be any alkyl group like methyl, ethyl, propyl and so on, and the suffix will be alkyl OAT. That means in case of methyl it will be methanoate, in case of ethyl it will be ethanoate and so on. Okay, so in case of nitriles, the functional group is CN or C triple bond N and the suffix is also nitrile. In case of amines, this group is NH2 and the secondary suffix is amine. Okay. Now with the help of these examples we will learn how to write the IUPAC names correctly. Suppose we have CH3, CH2, OH. This is our compound and we have to write the IUPAC name. So word root, primary suffix, secondary suffix, then IUPAC name. Here 2 carbon atoms are there, so it will be eth, word root, and primary suffix will be "-ane", right? And secondary suffix will be "-all". Whenever any secondary suffix is starting with a vowel, then the terminal E of the primary suffix is dropped. So our IUPAC name will be eth, an, E is dropped, all, ethanol. Okay. Next one, suppose this one, CH3, CH2, CN. Okay, how many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, right? So word root will be prop, N, this is nitrile. As this suffix is starting with a consonant, so this E will be retained. So the total name will be propanenitrile. Clear? Propanenitrile. Again CH3, CH2, CH2, COOH. How many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means word root is bute, ANE, and the secondary suffix for this functional group will be oic acid, and again it is starting with a vowel, so this E will be dropped. So butanoic acid, this will be the IUPAC name. Okay, now we will talk about prefix. So prefixes are also of two types. One is primary prefix, another one is secondary prefix. Clear? So now we will talk about primary prefix. So a primary prefix is used to differentiate a cyclic compound from an acyclic one. For example, suppose this one. How many carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3. So this should be propane, but this is cyclic, so it will be cyclopropane. Okay, cyclopropane. Now I am showing you from where it is coming. This cyclo is primary prefix. This prop is word root, and this ane, it is coming from primary suffix. Clear? Now secondary prefix. So whenever suppose I am writing the substituent groups and secondary prefix. In the IUPAC system of nomenclature, some groups are not considered as functional groups or secondary suffixes. They are treated as substituents and are called secondary prefixes. Okay, they are added just before the word root or the primary prefix in case of acyclic compounds. Okay, in alphabetical order. So suppose one halogen is there, so it is called halo. Okay, that can be fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo, or OR group, that is alkoxy. That can be methoxy, ethoxy, and so on, or any R group. Okay, so it can be alkyl group, that can be methyl, ethyl, and so on. if we take this one NO, so this is nitroso. Okay, nitroso. NO2, this is nitro, and this one, this is diazo. Okay, so with the help of all this, how to write the IUPAC nomenclature I am showing. Suppose we will write the organic compounds here. Organic compounds, then secondary prefix, then primary prefix, because they come before word root, then word root, then primary prefix, then comes suffix, secondary suffix, and then we can write the IUPAC name. Okay, so for example, I am taking this one, CH3, CH2, Cl. So whenever we are considering this compound, so at first secondary prefix, right? So this is the halogen atom. So for halo, we can write chloro for this one. So chloro will be the secondary prefix. Okay. Now primary prefix. Primary prefix means this has to be cyclic for any primary prefix. So this is nil. Next is word root. How many carbon atoms are there? 2 carbon atoms. So this is eth, right? Then comes primary suffix. Primary suffix means this is saturated hydrocarbon or not. This is saturated, so it will be N. Okay, and secondary suffix, this is also not here. Any functional group is not here. So the total name we can get from this, chloroethane, CHLORO, ethane. Okay, next CH3, CH2, OCH2, CH3. Generally we know that this is an ether and this is diethyl ether, but if we think that this is OR group and this is the parent chain and this is the substitution, so this is OR, right? So alkoxy, that means in this case ethoxy. So the secondary prefix will be ethoxy. Primary prefix is not here. Now if this is the parent chain and this is the substituent, so 2 carbon atoms are there. So again eth, word root, and primary suffix we have to know. So this is ane, right, because this is saturated hydrocarbon. Then secondary suffix, functional group is not here. So this is ethoxyethane, ethoxyethane. So in this way we can name the common organic compounds in very easy way. Okay, so I hope this idea is clear to you all now, and if you have any confusion regarding this topic, you can ask me in the comment section below. And if you are new to my channel, then don't forget to subscribe, and of course hit the bell icon to get notification of my new videos on my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching.